very sketchy. I'm not enjoying myself, not one bit. That wind is actually getting stronger and it is very cold. Setting the tent up, look at the radars on my finger. Oof. Hello YouTube, I'm back out wild camping again. This time we're in the Buttermere region of the Lake District. It's that time of year where spring is just and so starting to show its face, and I've had a lovely drive up the Newlands Valley. I am currently stood just beside a beautiful waterfall, and I'm parked just in this car park at the top of the Newlands Valley, and we're heading up there where two Wainwrights that I haven't summited yet await me, Knott Rigg and Ard Crags. At the moment we are in the shadow of the valley and it is a little bit windy, but the clouds are coming and going and we are getting some lovely sunlight, and it's so nice to feel the warmth of the sun on my skin for the first time this year. Some of those higher peaks are shrouded in mist, but up where we're going it doesn't look too bad. And that right there is a cracking view back towards the Keswick area, down the Newlands Pass. Right, time to do a bit of fell walking, bosh two Wainwrights and get a wild camp in. I've only just started the ascent and that wind really is starting to pick up, although it is forecast to drop down a bit later. We've just so got the Buttermere or Crummock Water in view. I think it'll be Buttermere. And just after the car park, we've got a relatively steep start to the ascent. Well, that's that first short steep ascent out the way. Wasn't too bad actually. Definitely got the blood pumping, warmed me up nicely. And look at that river flowing down the Newlands Pass, down the valley. Just so see Bass Lake in the centre of shot there. Beautiful, man, absolutely beautiful. At the moment we've got a nice little bit of undulating flat before the next ascent. While the blood is well and truly pumping now, I've lost the views in the direction that I've ascended in. We are just below the cloud and mist layer of the surrounding larger mountains. I think we're coming up on our first Wainwright summit, but the views back down towards Keswick and Bass Lake are absolutely stunning. Look at them clouds. It is nice to get on a little bit of flat as well. It does look quite undulatingly flat all the way for the rest of the walk. And as always, a big thank you to everyone that's joined me on this one. It's always great to have the regular viewers join me, and if you're a new viewer at the channel, welcome to A Cumbrian Lad Outdoors. And finally, that wind has dropped a little bit. It's obviously still blowing, but it's nowhere near as strong as it was. It's got better since I come over the brow of that hill. We've got some lovely colours on the fell side. And it is very boggy and wet underfoot. The last couple of days we've had quite a bit of rain here in the lakes. I think that summit there is going to be the first of today's two Wainwrights. And it's a lovely little walk, this. Absolutely stunning. Those shafts are light coming through the clouds, and we still remain just below that cloud and fog layer at the moment. And it looks like we've got a small descent and a reasonable ascent up to the first summit. Unbeknownst to me, my first summit of the day will actually be my intended second destination of the day, which is Ard Crags. I sailed right past Knott Rigg. I was sure when I was saving the map to the Garmin I'd put a summit point on Knott Rigg, but I can't have saved it right, so I thought it was taking a little long to get there. It's only 0.7 of a mile from the car park to the first summit, so check the proper map, and yeah, I've sailed right past it, but we've only got 0.33 of a mile to go till we do summit Ard Crags. Tell you what I have noticed on this one as well, I've noticed my fitness is coming back. I've set a really good pace today. I haven't had to stop for a break or anything. Obviously out of breath a little bit, but it's to be expected. I'm humping a rucksack up a mountain. But yeah, since I've started pushing myself since Christmas, yeah, the fitness is coming back. Really happy with today. And it's all good training for what I've got coming up this year. 277 feet to go till we summit. There's no summit cairn here. We do have a pile of rocks though. A very small one, but we can say Ard Crags. Done and boshed it, mate. The first summit for today. Oh, we're a bit backwards, turned around today. But the views, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, look at this. Absolutely beautiful looking down the Newlands Pass in the valley. Can still just see Bass Lake in view as well. Right, I will take a rest now, get some water on board. I was going to summit Knott Rigg first and then I could decide where I'm going to camp, but obviously I need to head back to summit that one, so it looks like that's where we're wild camping tonight. Yeah, water break here and then I'm going to head back. However, if you did want to camp here on the summit of Ard Crags, these are a few places. Probably room for 3 or 4 tents, I reckon. Also reasonably flat. Like I say, I'm really impressed with myself today, fitness wise. It's only taken me an hour and 10 minutes to get to Ard Crags and back to Knott Rigg, and here we go. Knott Rigg, done and boshed it, mate. Woo. Another one off the list, and the second for today. Oh, that wind shear has picked up on the return, that's for sure. A fairly unassuming summit. You can see why I walked straight past it. I am going to have a look around for a pitch. Certainly it would have been better pitching on Ard Crags, that's for sure. I do have a couple of little reasonably flat bits here, but as you can probably hear, that's right in the wind. Hopefully I can find a place that is sheltered a little bit from that wind. It is quite cool. I've got time on my side today, so I'm busy having a look around for a place to pitch, and I thought I'd just have a quick check on Google to see if I could see anything. And Google was saying that I wasn't on Knott Rigg, it was pointing over in this direction. So I've had a wander, and Google's now saying it's back where I was. So I think Google's had a bit of a mishap. But that being said, I am in a dodgy signal area. So that's where I thought Knott Rigg was, and it probably is. Looking back up towards Ard Crag, I've come right up to the end of this pinnacle, just looking down towards Bass Lake. Just and so see the end of the car park where I'm parked by that waterfall. Right, the search for a pitch for the night continues. Yeah, this is definitely Knott Rigg. I realise what I've done wrong when I've put the summit point on my Google Maps. What I've done is I've put it on the return leg of the journey. But at least I know I've done it now. But this is 100% the most unassuming Wainwright summit I've ever been on. The search for a pitch still continues, and as you can hear, rather than getting less, that wind is actually getting stronger and it is very cold. So ideally I'd like a pitch out the wind. Well, I think I've done about as good as I'm going to do for a pitch. I have dropped ever so slightly down from the summit. The summit is just there, Look at that low-lying cloud and mist coming past us. Still a faint glimmer of sunshine peeking through. And that cloud is moving very quickly. But nice clear views back down towards Bass Lake and Keswick. Unfortunately, it is still too early to be setting the tent up. And it is starting to get cold. So I'm going to dump the rucksack, I'm going to get my warm layers on, break the chair out and just chill myself out for a little bit. I've been sat here for half an hour now. Low-lying mist just keeps wandering past. The clouds are still moving very quickly and it is getting cold. But I've got my warm layers on and it's fine. I've got one alcohol-free brewdog with me. Cheers everyone. Oh, that's better. Just about 3:30 now, so as soon as 4 o'clock comes, I'm going to make a start putting the tent up. I don't think it's going to be a night for sitting out and enjoying the views with my tea, but the wind is directly in my back and I've got a cracking view, which will hopefully be out the tent door. Fingers crossed that wind doesn't change, so I'll be able to have the tent door open and enjoy the view from inside the tent. It's now after 4 and I've got the tent up. You can see how low the sun is in the sky. Although I'm out the worst of the wind, it's still quite windy here. And setting the tent up, look at the radars on my finger. And it's quite painful. So my first instincts were right. Tonight's not a night for sitting outside the tent. So all my gear is just going to get slung inside the tent, set up, and then that's me for the night. Boy, am I glad to get inside the tent. Like I said though, that wind is icy cold. You can see my fingers started to thaw out a bit. We've lost all sunlight outside, although it is still light, and the sun is definitely starting to set over towards Buttermere and Crummock. I'm just looking out the tent directly at the intended first summit of the day, and that's the view out the tent. It looks an awful lot better in that direction than it does in that one. Over there is looking particularly grim. I know the scarp can handle the wind, but no tent takes away from that wind noise, unfortunately. I have got my earplugs with me, so hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep. It's not quite time to zip the tent door up yet, but it is almost time to get some food on because I am very hungry. Unfortunately, I've had to close the door of the tent. The wind was just buffeting round inside too much for me to even attempt to light the jet boil for my tea. Just looking through the tent, you can see we do have some sunset colours starting to come over the mountains in the background. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to sit out and enjoy them. It's just too cold and windy. For tea tonight, we've got hoisin pork stir fry with spicy noodles and the statutory Yeti brekkie for morning. That is another good thing about these Mylar bags. Because I was on my own last week, I cooked up enough to make 2 of everything. So both of those I got out the freezer last night, so they were ready to go. Even tactical ducks ready for something to eat. If you know, you know. Oh, right, it's definitely food time. 20 minutes and I'm going to get something warm inside me, which is very much needed. I know I always say it, but I am definitely ready for this today. And it's a real shame on the best day of the year so far that the wind's made an appearance, but it is what it is. It's still been a very enjoyable day. Wow, that wind really isn't backing off. I can hear it absolutely howling past the mountains over yonder. I ain't gonna get much sleep, am I? Right, you guys know the drill. I'm going to finish this, but I will most definitely speak to you again before it's bedtime. Well, it's now just after 7 and it's pitch dark outside. Once again, there's not a great lot going on, so it's time to turn the camera off for the night. My tea's all settled. I really enjoyed that once again, and that wind isn't showing any signs of backing off. I've just checked the Met Office, and since I've set off this morning, the weather has changed from 12-mile-an-hour gusts up to 50-mile-an-hour gusts overnight. So that should prove entertaining. And also at 6 o'clock in the morning, we have got some extremely heavy rain coming in. Hopefully my body clock will come to the rescue and I'll be up at 4 and get a chance to get back to the car before that lands. But as I say, time for the camera to go off. Enjoy the footage I've got for you overnight, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning everyone. As predicted, 4 AM, wide awake after not much sleep. Oof. Even with the earbuds in, that wind just kept me awake quite a lot. Got about 3 hours kip in total. That wind is starting to pick up as per the changed forecast. Oh dear me. So it's time for the quick breakfast and pack up and get myself out of here, I think. Oh, it's better. We are now getting some very heavy gusts of wind, and then it goes to nothing. Time to get this breakfast down me, just give me the energy to get back to the car. It's just over 3/4 of a mile back to the car this morning, so it's not terrible, but with this wind it is going to be blowing me back up the hill, so it could take a little bit of energy to get back. So the Yeti Brekkie would be perfect for that. I'll finish my breakfast off, and not that I usually mess around in the morning anyways, I like to make the most of my Sunday, but today is a day for getting back to the car as soon as possible. So as soon as I finish my breakfast, I'm going to quickly pack up, get changed, and then it will be most definitely time to get back to the car in double quick time, which could be interesting. Well, that's me packed up inside the tent now. The wind outside is really starting to gust quite strongly now. At points when I was packing away, it was actually lifting the floor of the tent up, getting right underneath it. So I'm really not looking forward to getting out of the tent this morning and packing it down. Oh dear me, it's going to be a nightmare. There's my rucksack ready to go with the rubbish bag attached to it. So as always, and as it should be, I'll be leaving no trace behind. Oh right, time to get my backside in gear, get out this tent, get it packed down and get back to the car in double quick time. Well, that was not very pleasant, I can assure you of that. That tent took some holding on to for sure. But nevertheless, we are ready to go back to the car. That's where I've had my tent. You can just and so see where the grass is flattened. Just making doubly sure that I've left nothing behind. We do have a little bit of a lull in the wind at the moment. Hopefully that'll get me off on a good footing back to the car, which is where I'll see you again. Oh, this is not very nice. Not very nice at all. Very sketchy. I'm not enjoying myself. Not one bit. Holy moly. Wow. Ah. Go to the Lake District and go camping, they say. It'll be fun. Come and see the views. Oh. Well, that was bloody awful, that. The wind was that strong. It was making my eyes stream with water, so seeing was difficult, really difficult. And it kept trying to blow me off my feet and did in fact succeed 3 times. I left my down pants on to help battle the wind chill, and look at the state of them. I have to give them a good wash when I get home. As I mentioned at the start of the video, that wind when I left home was not forecast. If it were, I very well might have considered staying at home, or maybe just going to complete the 2 Wainwrights. Maybe when I got to my camp spot I should have just gone home. What do you guys think? I'm not one for clickbait or showing people doing things that are stupid. You know, I just do my own thing and I try and do it as safely as possible. But that weather when I left home, it was forecast 12-mile-an-hour gusts. That was definitely up over 50-mile-an-hour gusts for sure. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed the walk. Completed 2 more Wainwrights to tick off the list, so really happy with that. And I've got back to the car safe and sound. So it is most definitely time to get myself home, get a well-earned shower, and possibly sneak into bed for another 2 or 3 hours. Thank you guys very much for joining me on this one, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. So once again, until next time, stay safe, much love from a Cumbrian lad.